Hey y'all, Andrea from Andrea Speaks TV, back to bring news and commentary you can use. Listen, thank you so much for your support. I'm back again to give you another update on the migrant crisis, okay? This time I want to tell you what's going on out of the state of New York, specifically New York City to be exact, and I want to get your thoughts, okay? Now, you know, on the channel, I've been asking, okay, what is the real solution? I've been reading your comments, getting your thoughts on everything. Thank you, by the way. Thank you so much for your support. But listen, y'all, I keep asking, what is the real solution regarding the migrant crisis, right? Well, it seems like the state of New York, according to the New York Governor Kathy Hochul, sounds like they may just have a solution, okay, along with New York City Mayor Eric Adams, okay? You've heard me mention him before. Listen, y'all, so I'm going to tell you about their plan, and I want to hear from you, okay? Is this the real solution? Is this a solution I've been asking about? Listen, y'all, New York, according to my sources, okay, the state of New York is planning to spend billions. Yes, I said billions, not millions. Is planning to spend billions, billions with a B, billions more, okay, on the migrant crisis. Let me tell you exactly what's going on, and I want to know your thoughts, okay? According to my sources, New York state officials, okay, have said that they would direct another. Are you ready for this figure? Okay, make sure you're sitting down. They're going to direct another $2.4 billion to fund the cost of caring for migrants in New York City, adding to the fiscal toll of what they're saying, according to my sources, adding to the fiscal toll of a crisis that has overwhelmed the city's normal network of homeless shelters. Okay, we've been saying, I've been seeing your comments, you know, we can't forget about, if we're going to help other people, right, we can't forget about our own, okay? We know that across our country, okay, there are thousands, if not more, right? Thousands, tens of thousands of men, women, and sometimes children, okay, who are homeless for whatever reason. And especially in these cold winter months, right? We can't forget about them and the fact that they need housing, right? Basic needs, housing, food, clothing, shelter, okay? Now, both Governor Kathy Hochul, okay, according to my sources, both Governor Kathy Hochul, governor of the state of New York, as well as New York City Mayor Eric Adams on Tuesday unveiled budgets for the next fiscal year, okay, particularly in the city. My sources say the cost of caring for tens of thousands of migrants who have come to New York City, usually after crossing the southern border, have come to dominate municipal spending calculations. Okay, remember I did the video and I was sharing with you all how Mayor Eric Adams was going to, he was planning to make budget cuts, okay? From my understanding, they're rolling back on some of those. And I told you all this past summer, summer 2023, I actually spent some time in New York. And as a result of that, okay, I did receive some notifications saying, particularly from the New York Public Library System, saying how they would now be closed on Sundays, okay, due to these particular budget cuts. But listen to what's going on, y'all, okay? So here's a quote from Mayor Eric Adams, who had this to say, and I quote, "Without real immigration reform and a decompression strategy," he's saying, "at the border, there will be no end in sight." Okay, do you agree or disagree with his words? Now, the extra state funding, okay, the extra state funding from Hochul was welcomed by city officials who project the cost of providing food, shelter, and medical care, okay, and other services to the migrants to reach around $10 billion through the summer of 2025, okay, by next summer, y'all. The number of people in the city's care has steadily increased to around 69,000 since, listen to this, y'all, Republican officials in border states began sending migrants north on charter buses in the summer of 2022, okay? I've been covering that in my migrant crisis coverage playlist. Please be sure to check that out as well, okay? Now, Mayor Eric Adams, okay, my sources say, faces a $7.1 billion deficit that he said was exacerbated by the cost of caring for the migrants. In November, the Democratic mayor announced budget cuts that forced the closure of libraries on Saturdays and Sundays and would have reduced the police force through attrition, okay? Now, on Tuesday, okay, Adams said the city will reverse some of those cuts, including reinstating in April 2024 Police Academy class of 600, returning a 5th firefighter to 20 engine companies, and restoring funding for 170 community schools. Okay, there was actually, I believe, maybe like a lawsuit that came up against him as a result of making proposed cuts to education. Okay, let me know your thoughts on that. Certainly at a time where it's so much going on, I don't know why you would want to cut back on police funding. Okay, you know, a lot of people speak of defunding police, okay, but with crime running rampant, with chaos it seems unfolding at times, and you never really know, why would you want to cut back on your police force, okay? Listen, y'all, the mayor even said that the city was able to reduce the projected cost of migrant care by roughly $1.7 billion over 2 fiscal years, and now projects that it will spend $10.6 billion through 2025. He said the city saved some money in part by kicking people out of shelters after a period of 30 or 60 days. I talked about that as well in my migrant crisis coverage playlist, okay? He also said, and I quote, "We made tough but necessary decisions about spending and savings early in the budget cycle," okay? Let me know your thoughts on this, y'all. Are these real solutions? They're spending billions and billions of dollars, okay? My question is, where's this money coming from, and who's going to pay it back, okay? Adams, the article says, will go on to negotiate with the city council over a final spending plan of roughly $109 billion for the city fiscal year starting July 1st. He has repeatedly called on the state and federal government to provide funding to cover the city's costs related to the migrants. New York has helped migrants file 23,000 work authorizations, temporary protected status, and asylum applications, Adams said in November, okay? Governor Hochul said she would include $2.4 billion of migrant spending in her budget for the state fiscal year beginning April 1st. State officials approved $1.9 billion in funding for migrants last year, okay? The additional money, my sources say, will pay for tent cities on Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn. We've talked about that location as well as operations of migrant relief shelters at a state psychiatric hospital in Queens and on Randall's Island, okay? That's according to Governor Hochul, okay? She was quoted as saying, and I quote, "We're doing this not just because it's the right thing to do for the migrants and the city of New York. We also know that companies won't do business in New York if there are thousands of people sleeping on the streets, or the quality of life is dramatically impacted because the city is forced to cut essential services," okay? At the time of this video, y'all, I got something in the oven, and that's my timer, okay? Listen, both Adams and Hochul, okay, according to my sources, said the federal government should ultimately be responsible for fixing the situation on the southern border, and said the cost of caring for migrants would decrease as more of them are authorized to work, okay? Do you believe this? Let me know your thoughts, okay? Now, New York is saying, hey, we're going to create this budget. We're going to put so many $1 billion towards it. Are they expecting the federal government to refund them? At the end of the day, are the taxpayers paying for this? What's going on, y'all? Are these real solutions, okay? Listen to this, y'all, okay? The governor proposed a $233 billion budget that closes a $4.3 billion deficit. State Budget Director Blake Washington said that estimates on tax revenue have ticked up since the state's most recent projections in the fall, covering some of the shortfall. Hochul proposed scaling back planned increases in aid to school districts, to reflect declining enrollment and cash balances that some districts are holding, okay? She said that she isn't proposing any income tax increases, and some have already begun pushing for additional taxes to increase spending on healthcare and climate programs, okay? Some senators, okay, one senator was quoted as saying she is wasting billions of dollars on a self-created crisis, okay? Do you all believe this is a self-created crisis? Let me know your thoughts, okay? Very concerning. Again, who's paying for this? Where's the money coming from? Who's paying for it, okay? Is it ultimately the taxpayers? Is it right? Should they be taking this money instead and helping the residents, the citizens of New York City versus putting so many billions of dollars towards helping the migrant men, women, and children, okay? Let me know your thoughts. Take care. Be blessed. I'm curious to know what you think, okay? Talk to you soon. See you in the next video.